Good morning. That's all I have to say. I thought I would do another day slash, I don't know how many days it's going to be, but in my life, now that I'm back at rehab or therapy, when I say rehab, it sounds like I'm at like alcohol or drugs rehab, but I'm at like physical rehab. I just spent like 5 minutes figuring out what to wear. Great, looks good. Don't look at my room, it's a mess. I have my compression sleeve on this morning because when I wake up right away, I have to put it on, but then I take it off later because I don't really need it during the day. Let's go. Normally I try to eat something more like protein heavy for breakfast, but I'm too lazy today, so I have toast with Nutella and raspberries, banana, apple, vitamins, coffee, vitamin C, and hyaluronic acid juice. I'll probably have a second breakfast after I work out because it's only, oh my gosh, 8. Horses. So I went to the gym this morning and then I got home and had my like shake and stuff. And then I just dropped off my little surrogate sister at the horse stables. That is like part of the deal I made with the family that I'm living with, is that when I can drive, I help drop the kids places. And well, I wish I could help more than I do, because now that I'm like back on crutches, it's a bit harder for me to help than before. But yeah, so I just dropped her off, and then now I'm going to drive home, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's like 17 degrees right now, which is so nice. I'm so glad it's warm again. Maybe I can do some stretching, and I have some work to do with editing some stuff, so that's the vibe currently. But I kind of love being a taxi. I know that when I'm a mom, I'll probably be like, wow, I really do not want to drive people everywhere, but it's kind of fun, especially right now that I can't do much. It's like a nice distraction for me. I can drive my little siblings around. I got back from driving, and now I'm right into the moving machine. Look at it go. I'm up to 92 degrees flexion and -5 extension. Guess I didn't go right into here. I switched my Band-Aids because I have to wait another couple of days to get the stitches out, because that's when the doctor's free. But yeah, this machine is so good. Like I don't struggle with flexion right now anymore, but it's so nice to have something that like moves your knee around so that it can get used to moving, so that hopefully I can start biking soon. Hi, it's after dinner now. I went into kind of a, like, I don't know, zoned out state for a few hours. I feel like that happens when you're rehabbing. You kind of like have to go into these weird states where you aren't really focused on anything, so that you can just like relax and let your body heal. Anyways, but we had dinner, we had pizza, and I got a lot of sun today, which was really nice because it's been really rainy. And so getting in the sun when you're healing is just like, oh, it feels so good. But I've been trying to do more like crafts and activities that just like are relaxing and to keep me occupied. And so I went and I have paints. My sister sent me watercolor paints. So I've done a couple paintings, but I only had one brush and it was really terrible. So I got 4 more brushes today, and I just did a painting. Look at it. Some people get really good at like crafts and stuff, or like hobbies when they're injured, but I feel like this is just the state of my crafting at this point. It's just very mediocre. And I've gotten really into watching Bob's Burgers. It's such a terrible show, but it just makes me laugh, and it's really entertaining. While I'm sitting here adding random details to my painting, I figured I would chat about rehab and what my life has been like recently, and like how I am dealing with everything. So I kind of said this, I think I said this in my last video, is that I am finding like the start of this rehab, because I just had ACL surgery 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't a straight ACL. They also had to add some cartilage and bone to one of the like problematic areas in my leg. So I'm back on crutches for like 6 weeks, and the start of this rehab has been a lot harder than the last one. Mind you, I'm already like almost 5 months into this rehab, so it's kind of just like messing with my head a little bit. But I was talking to the family I'm living with. I was talking to them last night about how I've been staying positive and like keeping my mind healthy, because that's really hard when you're rehabbing. And the number one thing that I've been really working on is like perspective, because I think it's really easy to think of your situation and be like, wow, this really sucks. I can't do what I want to do. But in the grand scheme of things, like, yeah, I'm
I'm injured right now, and it's going to be like months before I can do my sport again. But there is so many other things I can still do. And I look at my injury compared to like some other athletes who are definitely not as lucky, who either are paraplegics now or like have spinal cord injury that you don't know what your future is going to be. And yeah, I just think that like keeping my injury in perspective as far as like my future goes really helps me. And yeah, I mean, I'm also at like an intense rehab clinic, so I see people who are like dealing with way worse injuries than me, and I am just kind of like, okay, yeah, my situation sucks right now, but I can be grateful that things aren't worse. And also just like really for me, like I've been away from home since October. I've been in Europe since October, and it is now May. So I've been away from home for a long time, and I really think that I've been so lucky with finding people, like a family that I can live with and have like a connection with and feel like a sort of purpose almost, because I think that if you're going through all this alone, it would be so exhausting. And if you are going through this alone, then I feel for you, and my only advice is to try to find something that keeps your like heart connected to the things that make you happy. And if you aren't able to physically do what makes you happy, then try to find things that like keep your heart connected to it. And for me, I'm like, sports are my everything, but I also am a very social person. I I enjoy doing like fun crafts and stuff. Like I enjoy doing things with people. So for me, having people around has been really helpful. And also like training. I it's kind of crazy because I even in the hospital when I was getting my ACL, the physios brought a hand bike to my room the day after my surgery. And I started hand biking the day after my ACL surgery because they knew that like in order for me to keep my head in the right place, I needed to stay busy and needed to be able to do things. So they made sure that I was able to do things that weren't going to harm my body. But yeah, like I have made sure that I have training every single day except for the weekend. The weekend, I like give myself the weekend because I am a creature, like I am a human. I enjoy the days off, but I make sure that I have training every single day. And I also, on the days that I don't have physio, like I make sure that I'm doing at least 2 or 3 hours of like physio related activities. And I'm super lucky. Like I have this machine in my bed. I take it off my bed when I sleep. And then I have the game ready right beside my bed. So I have access to these things that most people probably wouldn't. But you can use like a stability ball, like one of those big yoga balls, and bend your knee, use it, like move it slowly, get it moving. Or there's like so many exercises that you can do on your own that are going to be beneficial. And okay, I'm not like a physiotherapist or a doctor. So if you haven't been told to do these exercises or you've been told not to, please don't do them because I'm just telling you like the things that have kept me going and moving forward. And yeah, I guess just like I try to occupy myself with like at least 3 hours of like training / physio at the clinic. And then when I can't be at the clinic, I also try to do a couple hours at home. And then the rest of the day, like I work, I literally will just sit outside in the sun if it's nice out, or I'll sit in bed and watch Bob's Burgers and do my stupid little paintings or bead. Yeah, so those are some of the things that I've done to kind of keep myself sane. But I really do think that perspective is like the number one thing. And if you're struggling with finding perspective and like seeing how your situation could be seen in like a positive way, then just writing it down. Like, I find if I write down the things that I can still do and the things that like are, I don't know, are like normal in my life, then it's easy for me to see how someone else would have it worse and how like yeah, it sucks, but you can always find like little things to be grateful for. And I think when you find those things, like hang on to them, you grab them and you don't let them go, because yeah, it's really helpful to have things that you feel grateful for. And I'm not saying don't feel bad for yourself. Like, trust me, I will like cry and I will have those moments where I'm like, wow, my life is like not going how I thought it was going to be going. But maybe I'm living in a state of delusion, but I truly believe that there is like a reason why everything happens, and it's not always like a positive reason. Sometimes it's a negative reason, but there are like positives and things that you can take out of each situation. And for me, like one of the biggest positives is I have created these like amazing relationships. I've had time to like slow down and really bond with these people, these total strangers that I didn't know 4 months ago have like become basically my family. And I've also created these connections in the ski world that I never would have imagined. I've been able to relate to other athletes in a way that I never have before. Like when you're going through an injury with someone at the same time, it really creates this like connection that is hard to explain. Yeah, and I've just had a lot of time to think. And sometimes the thinking leads me down these crazy paths where I'm like, oh my God, I need to be doing a million more things. I need to be figuring out what I'm going to do with my life. If I can't ski again, I need to be figuring out how I'm going to like keep my trajectory going forward. But the other side of it is I'm like, okay, well, maybe this whole purpose of being injured and having to rehab and like being stuck in this little town is because I'm supposed to slow down and like give myself time to breathe and just enjoy the life around me, and like maybe something amazing is going to come from it. I don't know. Hopefully, because I've gone through a lot of pain to get here. So anyways, just thought I would share that long rant. Hopefully that wasn't too boring. And yeah, if you like to hear me rant, I have a podcast. So I talk a lot. I love to talk. And I don't talk that much here because, yeah, my family here speaks English, but they are also not always at home. They have real lives other than me. So anyways, certified yapper. Check out my podcast, Send It with Stef, if you want to hear me yap for 15 minutes a week.